What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 45 of the Nightly Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with Dave.
What
No Chris
up?
this week. And I put a lot of emphasis on 45 there because apparently last week was actually episode 44, but I said episode 43. The notes
I
didn't
know.
match where we actually were.
Yep, exactly. But the title on the video was correct. You just said the wrong thing. So
Because the notes lied to me.
I know. We've done so many of these at this point that we just don't even know what number we're on.
And nobody called me out, so
I
I
know.
guess I snuck under the radar there.
Exactly.
But no, usually Chris handles all this stuff. So we'll see how it turns up. Might be a low quality, low edited. You could get the raw footage here, folks.
They are going to get the raw footage.
You're gonna get the raw footage.
It was a scary time getting prepared for this tonight. We had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, Chris gatekeeps the usernames and passwords, so didn't know how to get into anything. Couldn't use Zoom, so we're back on Riverside because the Zoom is Chris's corporate Zoom. The Riverside is tied to the Nightly Nonsense email that only Chris has. We got password approximately, I'd say 20 minutes ago.
Exactly.
We are freaking rocking and freaking rolling.
We thought we were going to have to do a free trial of some other software, and then I tried to download something onto my work computer, and I got a message that said that I couldn't do that, and I thought I was going to get in trouble, and so it's been a fiasco. But we're here.
We got to give the people what they want.
Exactly. We could miss another week.
The people want Nightly Nonsense, and by the people, we mean you, Zach.
We mean you, Zach. We love Zach. No, we say that, and Zach is our loyal listener, but we did have, let's see, 8 views. So, we have 12 a couple weeks ago, 23.
God, the number just keeps going up. Too many.
23, 24, 25. There's good.
That's good. That's good.
Exactly. That's 25 is a good number. I feel good about 25.
I feel good about 25.
I know. That makes me feel good. So,
all right, let's get into it a little bit. So, after trivia last night, Dave, I was craving fast food.
Okay.
Just didn't have a big enough dinner. It was sounding nice.
Okay.
When I'm craving fast food, I for some reason want Jack in the Box, and it might be just because that's the closest to my house, so that's what I'm just craving at the time. If you're like a hankering for fast food, like what are you thinking of when you're like, ooh, I want fast food?
Well, here's the thing. So Jack in the Box is good because they have such variety that it's like unmatched. And I feel like a lot of the Jack in the Boxes have closed.
A lot of them.
A ton of them. Like when we lived together, we had that Jack in the Box that was right by us, and it's just undefeated late at night. You could go there and you could literally get a burger, a taco, or an egg roll all in the same place. Jalapeno poppers, like they had.
Literally it's one of their late night munchie meals. It was an ultimate double cheeseburger, 2 tacos, and then an order of half curly, half normal fries.
That's amazing.
Just covered the entire spectrum of everything I needed.
That's incredible. But to answer your question, I am a big Taco Bell craving guy.
Okay.
Which goes hand in hand with the fact that like Mexican food is my favorite in general, which I know Taco Bell is not. It is in the Mexican food department, but it's
in the arena.
It's loosely Mexican food, but I mean Taco Bell, I can go like just regular tacos and it'll fulfill my craving of it, but I love a good Taco Bell, and that'll be my late night craving too.
I feel like I'm at a point now, like in high school, college, like I could literally, there would be a time where like I would be getting like fast food, like was my dinner, but now it's more like, like more just that late night craving.
Exactly.
So I don't need it necessarily for dinner, but that led me to ask, what do you think is the most overrated fast food establishment?
So interestingly, this is tough. So I just told you that mine is Taco Bell. I will say that I could see an argument that Taco Bell could be the most overrated. Like people are obsessed with Taco Bell, and if you really think about it, like Taco Bell, it could be. Could be convinced that it's overrated,
Yep.
but I won't go there. I don't know. McDonald's,
so
I mean,
me,
could be.
So like honestly, some of those big ones like are definitely in the conversation. So you and I have had this conversation as it relates to sports that you can still be good and be overrated.
Yeah.
So just because we're saying a place is overrated doesn't mean we don't like it.
Yeah.
So like for me, because this is honestly another place that I would call it fast food, is Cane's.
Yeah.
Like Cane's only has chicken. Their chicken really isn't even that good. It's just their sauce that is really
so good. Yeah, their sauce is so good.
Like I like Cane's, but I think there's like Cane's has a lot of clout, and I don't know if it deserves it.
You're right. They're very limited menu. Like
very limited.
It's chicken strips and a chicken sandwich, and that's all they really bring to the table.
And I'm pretty sure their chicken sandwich is just strips on bread. Like I don't even think it's like.
I think you're right.
Like a fillet or like a patty.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, from a business model standpoint, they've kind of mastered it because they literally don't have to worry about getting anything other than chicken strips. No. And like they're making bank off of that because there's nothing. I mean, they have literally one thing that they have to focus on. But I think you're right. Like I like it, like you said, but people are obsessed with Cane's, and I don't really. I haven't had it in a long time. I haven't had Cane's in a long time, but
I had it. I literally think last weekend.
Okay, yeah, no, it's been months and months since I've had.
And like I said, it always hits the spot, but like when I really think about it, I think it's overrated.
Yeah. I think I think that's a good answer.
Now, how about the reverse? What's the most underrated fast food establishment?
You know what I'm going to say, don't you? I'm going to
I don't know if I do.
I'm going to make your entire week.
Oh, then you're about to say Burger King.
I'm going to say Burger King because here's why I'm going to say Burger King. I was a massive hater on Burger King.
Most people are.
Exactly. Most people are. Like everybody is a hater of Burger King.
Except for me and Kent.
Exactly. And I went and I got it probably a year and a half ago. And I didn't tell anybody. You caught me. And because you found the receipt in my car and you said, "What is this?" And I said, "That's a Burger King receipt." And it was good, and I liked it. Now the Chiking was just kind of average.
It was a fine chicken sandwich,
but like the chicken fries are good. I like them. I like the chicken fries, and I think it's good.
So obviously Burger King was definitely one that I tossed out there, and it's more because literally people think it's like absolute trash, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like,
did you put that in the? Oh, okay.
I'm not saying it's top 5.
Mm-mm.
I might not even say it's top 10 in the fast food game, but like it's fine. It's not garbage that people think it is.
Exactly.
And I think so. This is one that like probably also deserves to be in the conversation. I can't say because I couldn't even tell you the last time I ate at this place. And I feel like it's mainly here in St. Louis because we have Lion's Choice, but everyone just rips on Arby's as well. And I don't really think Arby's is that bad. It's just not as good of a roast beef sandwich as Lion's
Choice. So I'm glad you said that. So my old job that I used to have, there was an Arby's right by my office. And I went there multiple times just because it was the closest like place to get lunch, and it was not bad at all. And like when I was talking about the variety that Jack in the Box has, like sneaky variety out of our like
I see the commercials, so they're all over the place with their menu. You could get a chicken parm, you could get a gyro, or you could get a roast beef.
I know, and they had like a wagyu burger, and like it
Yep.
was good. Like, and so like I mean, it was not bad at all. And so you're right, gets a lot of unnecessary hate from Arby's, and the meat is like actually decent. Like it's not, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem, which I know that's kind of their
And
marketing.
apparently the curly fry game is next level out of
Mm.
Arby's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were good.
So
So,
another one that I think deserves to be in the conversation, and we actually ate at this establishment on the road trip where I caught you with the Burger King receipt, is a
mhm.
Hardee's or a Carl's Jr.
Oh
Every
yes.
I feel like underrated more in the sense of like people don't say it's bad. I think it's just not talked about enough.
Yep.
And I think it's just because there are limited locations. I feel like it's not as accessible,
Mm-hmm.
not as easy to get to. There's not as many, but every time I eat there, I am more than satisfied with my meal.
Yep. And I think an elite breakfast sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Their biscuits blow McDonald's out of the water, and everyone's out here talking about McDonald's breakfast being so good. And I'm like, y'all, Hardee's breakfast slash Carl's Jr., where depending on where you live, is so much better than
You
McDonald's
bite into
breakfast.
that biscuit and it actually stays intact. Whereas
Exactly.
the one bite into the McDonald's biscuit, it's Crumble City.
And it just tastes better.
And I feel like the egg, there's more egg. I feel like the
Yep.
sausage is more substantial, or the bacon, whichever you prefer.
Yep.
It's not as thin.
Yep.
I would
It's so
agree.
much better. It's so much better. I agree. Hardee's gets, and they completely. I think that they kind of fell off the map a little bit after they had their commercials when they like years ago that were
I wasn't able to eat at Hardee's as a kid because my mom didn't want to support them because of the commercials they were putting out. Whereas
yeah,
all a young Adam Reichman wanted to do was eat at Hardee's to support Jessica Simpson.
exactly. They had their risque, controversial commercials.
Yep.
And I think that was a little bit of a turn off for some and a turn on for others. And and then after they stopped that, it was kind of like they fell off the map. And now people just are sleeping on them.
I would agree.
Yep.
I don't even
But,
know where is the nearest Hardee's to us.
there's one on Big Bend and
Closed. If you're talking like the one on like right by like Big Bend and 44 by like the Culvers,
oh, really?
closed.
Well, there's one in like Twin Oaks, that, like out by like my parents' house. Like kind of close to where the bowling alley is and the driving range, and like that's far from where we live now, but it
Yep.
is.
There's
It's
still a Hardee's over there.
Yeah, there's one there. There's one in Wildwood.
Let's see if I went to Google Maps right now.
Oh no, the one in Wildwood closed. Never mind.
That's now a
It's
Panda. If you're
That's a
talking
Panda
yeah.
Express. Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
I've dabbled before. When I go to court, I find one out in rural Missouri.
We're looking at closest Hardee's to me off of Lee May Ferry.
That's not close.
That simply can't be right.
I don't think that's right.
No. It still looks like there's one that's right off 44 and I believe Hampton, right before you get to the hill.
Oh, yep, I see that one.
I think that would have to be the closest one.
Yep,
Looking at the map here, looks promising.
yep. There's one in Fenton, Valley Park, Lee May
Yep.
Ferry, and then one on Hampton. There's one on Butler Hill Road too. That's probably kind of close to you.
I don't even know where that is.
No, that's not close to you at all. Never mind. I just lied. But anyway.
And then
So-
last, what do you think is the most properly rated fast food establishment?
Chick-fil-A lives up to the hype, is great.
I was going to say Chick-fil-A. I feel like
Yep.
I feel like recently they've actually been getting put on blast, but I think Chipotle always gets the job done.
Yep. Definitely.
I love Panda. Panda
Yep.
gets the job done.
Yeah.
Now, you could say overpriced, so I don't know if it necessarily then would technically be properly rated, but I feel like Shake Shack is
Yeah.
as good as advertised. And I think you
It
go in
is highly
expecting to
priced,
spend
but
more now.
yeah.
And then like same with
Oh,
Five Guys.
Five Guys.
Both of those.
Yeah. Five Guys prices though have like gotten
It's out of hand.
outrageous. They're more than Shake Shack. It's crazy how
Any
expensive
place where they don't offer a meal, more or less. You just leave there spending like
it's a la carte.
I went to Shake Shack after I played Whitmore with Kent 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago at this point, because I didn't play Whitmore last week.
Yeah.
Like just a double cheeseburger, fries, and a milkshake, $27.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For just me.
Yep. I mean, that's how I feel about Five Guys. You go to Five Guys, you get a burger, like a bacon cheeseburger with fries and a soda or something, and it's like $24. And you're like, what is this?
Like, I could literally go to
get a nice dinner.
I was going to say, I don't know what restaurant in St. Louis people would say has the best burger. I would put Circle 7 Ranch up there.
Yeah. And it's less than that, bro.
I'm going to Circle 7 to get a burger and fries because I get the meal, and if I could get a soda, I'm easily coming out of there less than $20.
Exactly. It's crazy. But if we're talking not about the price, but if we're just talking quality, yes, they are properly hyped up and they're good. I'm trying to think of something that's bad and properly rated. Like what's bad and everyone knows it's bad?
Subway.
Yeah, but Subway is like
Subway could be in the underrated category if you actually think about it.
Exactly. It's not terrible.
It's not that bad of a sandwich, and you go like sandwich for price, you're in a pretty good ballpark.
Exactly. Like it's cheaper and it's fine.
Ooh, I might actually put this one in overrated as Jimmy John's.
Yeah, I agree.
You're literally just getting a cold sandwich. They're not heating it up. You're getting deli meat on bread, and they're charging you like $11.
Yeah, you're right. And people are obsessed with it, and it's like it's not anything special.
I could go the next day buy like the day old bread, which I think they sell for like 50 cents.
50 cents, yeah.
I could get like 6 loaves of that, go to Schnucks, just get some deli meat from there, and I'm making you 10 sandwiches of equal quality for the price of one sandwich at Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
I don't think they're freaky fast or freaky good anymore either.
They're definitely not freaky fast. I feel like every one I've been to, they just take their time. I think they dropped that.
Of that too. I don't think they advertise that anymore.
They don't. They take their time. They're freaky slow. But yeah, I don't know what's properly rated is bad.
As like that's bad, and everyone knows it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like,
let's see. I
feel like there's just too many like standards now. Like, there's so many things that restaurants just to like have just so you can't be bad. Like, there's probably a time where like maybe KFC, but I don't think KFC's even bad.
KFC's not bad. Yeah. I mean, I'm shockingly not a huge fried chicken guy personally. Wendy's, we haven't mentioned Wendy's one time in this conversation. Wendy's is fine. Like it's not bad.
I think Wendy's burgers are overrated and their chicken products are underrated.
Underrated. I agree.
People love to talk about the spicy chicken nugget, but the chicken sandwich is good. The spicy chicken sandwich, I think, is even better than the nugget.
Yep. Their soda's terrible. I've said that I've gone on record saying that. I'm surprised you didn't.
I was going to say, I've sent you a lot of videos lately about blind taste testing Diet Cokes from places. I think we need to step that up.
Yep, I could do that. I feel confident that I could probably do that. I'm shocked. I know that we probably should move on, but I'm shocked also that you didn't bring up Sonic as an overrated spot because you're a big proponent of Sonic being overrated.
I'm just
and Whataburger.
Whataburger, I definitely think is overrated.
I love Whataburger. You think it's overrated?
I just think, again, my problem with Whataburger is more, I feel like it operates in the Shake Shack, In-N-Out, Five Guys price bracket, but it performs more with the Hardee's and the Wendy's of the world.
Okay.
So I feel like they're just overpriced for what you get.
Yeah. And Sonic
is just, if everyone's like what's
too.
Your favorite thing at Sonic? And your response is like a beverage, then your food can't be that good.
Corn dogs.
But like, I don't think I can say it's overrated just because I feel like people don't talk about the food that much.
Yeah. White Castle. That's kind of controversial.
There's a market out there, people that love White Castle.
Yeah. I love White Castle, and I feel like it's kind of trash. All right, well, either way, I don't know. I feel like if I said that was trash, people. Slim Chickens. I can't stand Slim Chickens. But anyway, all right.
I haven't had Slim Chickens since college.
Well, there's one on Hampton now, and I can't. That place is not good. All right, we can move on, but I don't like Slim Chickens at all.
On the record, he wants the people to know.
Yeah.
So right before hopping onto this, I saw a video that was discussing a Harry Potter plot hole that this girl found.
Okay.
So in Harry Potter 1, Voldemort is latched onto Professor Quirrell, right?
Yeah.
So
on the back of his head.
Yep. In the scene at the end of the movie, when Harry goes in there and he finds out that it's Professor Quirrell's the bad guy, and he's like, but Snape was the one trying to kill me. And then Quirrell claps back and he's like, no, boy, I was trying to kill you. And I would have succeeded if it wasn't for Snape muttering his little counter curse.
Yeah.
So right there, if Quirrell calls out that Snape in the first movie was trying to save Harry from Voldemort killing Harry because Voldemort was controlling Quirrell, how throughout the entire series does Voldemort not know that Snape's a double agent?
That's a good point. How
does he just forget? Because he like kind of disappears but then comes back again?
That's a good point. Because he doesn't really die then.
No. He just goes away. And then as Harry asks, he's like, is he dead? He's like, he'll come back. Like Dumbledore's like, he'll come back. So like right there, that should have been like...
Exactly. So he knows in the first movie.
He should, in theory. Biggest mistake Voldemort makes right there.
I wonder what the explanation for that would be.
I mean, it very well could be just like, I don't know, Snape convinced him that he actually is... Because that was just movie 1. By the time Voldemort comes back, maybe Snape just convinces him. He's like, I got beef with this kid. Now I want him dead.
I have to... I'm going to see.
But yeah, I saw that. I was like, never put that together.
Let's see. So I feel like people should be talking about this.
Yeah. I feel like this girl isn't the first person to come to this realization. There has to be a Reddit thread about it.
Science fiction and fantasy stack exchange.
Reliable.
Why didn't Voldemort suspect Snape as a double? Okay, here we go. This is from 2012. So people were talking about this in 2012. Let's see if this website's taking a long time to load. So I read something on this is what this says. I read something online that got me thinking. Why did Voldemort suspect Snape had defected from the Death Eaters and was now working for Dumbledore during the events of Philosopher's Stone, which, as we know, is also Sorcerer's Stone.
Correct.
Let's see. All right, so it says what we just talked about. Let's see. So Snape cornered Quirrell more than once. Halloween, when Quirrell let the troll in. The night Harry broke into the restricted section over the Christmas holidays for information on Nicholas Flamel, and openly threatened him against working for Voldemort and pressuring him to declare his loyalties. This obviously revealed Snape's loyalty to Dumbledore, to Quirrell, and presumably Voldemort, and I can't think of a reason why Voldemort wouldn't have been able to hear Snape's strong arguments to Quirrell perfectly clearly. Perhaps, okay, so here's some responses. Okay. Voldemort's arrogance blinded him from the possibility that Snape was a double agent aligned to someone other than himself.
Okay.
That's the first
Even though his blind ignorance that Snape could be a double agent when he thought Snape was his double agent, so.
Yeah. Okay, that's the first explanation. The second explanation, because he's a schmuck. That's a terrible response.
Okay.
I
would have gone schlub myself, but I respect schmuck.
I think that Voldemort, this person actually says he who shall not be named, so they're
big
too
fan.
They're too into it.
I respect this answer, whatever it is.
And Professor Dumbledore both knew that Snape was a double agent. He was leaking information to both of them. And the difficult question is just whether he'd ultimately be loyal to one of them in the end.
I think that probably is the best answer.
Yeah.
Because Dumbledore knew that he had to give something to Voldemort in order for Snape to have his trust, and then Voldemort had to know it the other way around. So they must have always just thought ultimately he would side with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, I feel like we need to talk about this.
Yep. And some more comments say the same thing. So it's a lot of people are saying that they thought that he was aware that he was kind of working for both, but that at the end he would be loyal to Voldemort. Okay. So that's what a lot of people are saying. Interesting.
That explanation.
That's a good explanation, but it's solid. Checks out.
I feel like I don't watch movies in depth enough to find plot holes like that.
No, I mean, you would have to
I've seen the first Harry Potter probably upwards of 25 times, and that's never crossed my mind.
No, I've never.
But now that I think about it, I'm like, how have I never noticed that?
Well, and I obviously haven't watched it nearly that much, and so I would have never caught on to that. But as soon as you said it, I'm like, wait a second. That makes complete sense.
I just never see things like that. I remember in the last season of Game of Thrones, in the episode that got put on HBO, there was a Starbucks cup on a table during a scene. And the internet went crazy, didn't see it. I'm currently rewatching Game of Thrones. I'll be looking for it, probably won't see it. Yeah. But some people literally just almost watch films for that. Where did people mess up, and can I be the one to catch them?
I remember when that went viral and everybody was like, there was that cup on the table. That's hilarious. I don't know how that happened.
Or there's also one that so it's also in not a plot hole, but just something people notice, and it's the last Harry Potter movie, and it's in one scene they don't do a good job, or they leave Ron's stunt double in or something, and then I watch it every single time. I don't think this is actually I feel like it was maybe a clip that in the maybe the extended cut across all the footage, but didn't actually make the movie. So sometimes how do people even see these things? Because I don't think they're actually real.
People just paying way too much attention.
But just watch a movie for the enjoyment of watching a movie.
Exactly. That's how I watch movies.
Don't ruin it for the rest of us.
Exactly.
All right. So. Now, obviously, with Chris not here, and with 95% of our personal conversations outside of the podcast being about sports, obviously we had to get into some sports.
Exactly. But I'm proud of us for spending 30 minutes on
We
nonsense.
got we got 30 minutes and didn't touch on sports. That's
I
pretty good.
know.
That's pretty good for us.
That is good for us. Wow. But now sports. Let's talk some sports. How about it?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
Let's talk about
it. So the Olympics are going on right now. Did you know that?
it. Was aware.
Yep, we talked about it a lot last week, but some things have happened over the last week. So really, we got to talk about the fact that the U.S. is elite as always.
Just dominates.
Yeah, exactly. Currently, at the time of recording here on Wednesday night, the U.S. is leading in medal count by a whopping 29. We have 94 medals. China has 65. And then it's just a massive drop off. So really,
I believe we've surpassed, because for a while China was leading in golds, and then we had the most silvers, most bronze. But I believe we have passed them in golds now as well. Correct?
Yep. So we have 27 golds. China has 25 gold. And then we're leading in silver and bronze also. We have 35 silver. China has 23 silver. And then we have 32 bronze, and China has 17 bronze. So we are leading in every medal. Total.
China just dominates like the swimming and the diving.
The diving,
the
yeah.
swimming.
No, we dominate swimming. But
like synchronized diving, normal diving.
Yeah.
I think they're really good at shooting as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, really, the U.S. and China are both pretty elite at the Olympics, because if you look at it, like, we have 94, China has 65, and then Australia's at. Oh wait, no, wait. Why did they do it like this? Oh, they're doing it by. They're doing it by gold. I think they just have
it just by golds.
Okay, never mind. So there's not as big of a drop off. France is third with 51.
Okay.
So it goes 65 and then 51 for France. So that's not as big of a drop off. But I mean, France is doing well too. But
why do you think it is that we just absolutely dominate?
Because I think the U.S. focuses so much on sports compared to other countries.
Just like the emphasis on sports
throughout
their entire life.
I think so. Like, obviously, China has a bigger population. Like, other countries have larger populations. So you would think that they would probably have more success just because they have more people to choose from. But in the U.S., we are so focused on athletics, I feel like, that in our society.
We have more, like, so many European countries, like soccer is the dominant sport. Basketball is probably now the second most popular sport, and I would say those European countries. But like, you could like, I don't know, but I feel like volleyball, which I don't even know if we necessarily win volleyball, but like there's like
we got knocked out of sand volleyball actually.
There's like 25 probably like youth leagues just in Missouri alone for volleyball. Just the amount of sheer opportunity there is for all sports in America.
It's crazy. And just think about, like, so for example, there was a big deal on this Olympics that the rugby team, women's rugby, medaled for the U.S. That's the first time that's ever happened. And because they medaled, like, I forget who the celebrity was. Some celebrity was like, that's incredible. So I am going to now invest some massive amount of money.
That also happens.
Yeah. Into women's rugby in the United States. It was crazy. Who was it? Well, this was not who I was thinking, but Washington Spirit owner. So who's a Washington Spirit? Is that a WNBA team?
I believe so.
Their owner donated invested $4 million into the USA rugby team. And then, For some reason, I thought it was like Shaq or something did it also.
That
It-
sounds like something either Shaq or
the
The
Shaq.
Rock.
Yeah.
One of those two seems
Uh,
like something one of those two would do.
yeah. But either way, crazy. But like, I think that, Jason Kelsey also invested a bunch. But either way,
It's just crazy because I feel like across both Olympics, like we usually win the medal count for winter too. No,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually. I think that like some of the Scandinavian countries usually do pretty well, like Norway and stuff. I think usually does pretty well.
Mm.
But like, I
If we
think
look at the most successful nations at the Winter Olympics, we are actually. This was as of I don't know why this stopped at. Oh, this stopped at 2018, but U.S. is actually fourth in total
really,
medals. Yeah.
wow.
Germany has the most, then Norway, then Russia, then us.
Well, there you go. I think Russia though has gotten kicked out since 2018 because of their scandals within their committee. The Russian Olympic Committee
And
had.
then I just did it from 19. Then I clicked onto this site and it allowed me to go through 2022. And this shows the U.S. as second.
Either way, so if we're first in summer and second in winter, that's
Yeah.
pretty dominant.
I just, yeah, and it just has to be that just the sheer amount of opportunity for sport growing up.
And I think too, if you take the combination of the summer and winter too, I think the U.S. as compared to some of the other countries, we have the most like different climates. So like in the U.S., you have beaches, deserts, like, but you
Mountains.
also have mountains
Yep.
and ice, like places where you can play hockey and snow ski, but you can also play sand volleyball and play
Yep.
baseball. Like, so like there's opportunity for all the different types of sports.
Yep.
So I agree. I think that that's what it comes down to. But in not many other countries, especially just because of size of the geographic size, they don't have that ability.
Like
But
there are some countries that like you see it during the World Cup every year. Like some of the European countries, like I find it more impressive what they do, even if they don't like necessarily win. Like just with the number of people they have, like the team that they can field at the World Cup that is better at soccer than
yeah,
America. And again, it's just because soccer isn't a focus in America like it is in other countries. But I feel like there is a shift in trying to make soccer more of a thing, and we still can't beat a country like Belgium, who has like a total population of what?
like
Not a lot.
yeah, less than California. I mean,
There
it's
are 11.69 million people in Belgium.
and there's almost 40 million people in California.
Yeah.
So it's a fourth the size of California. It's a third the size of Texas in population. So, I mean, it's a lot.
If we do states by population, what did I just say for Belgium?
11 million.
11. So that would be like if Ohio alone just had to field a World Cup team.
Yep. And could they do it? Nope.
No, because U.S. can hardly do it.
Exactly.
As a whole.
So that's an interesting thing, though. So, like, look at those different types of sports then. So, like, soccer, we don't stand a chance in soccer versus other countries.
Yep.
But then in, I don't know, like, in basketball, no one stands a chance against us. Or in, really, in like swimming, we dominate. I mean, Australia, they do stand a chance.
Australia
does great. Yeah, it does great. But like,
and then, like, I always think like baseball, but then USA like never wins the World Baseball Classic.
No,
It's just because the MLB is in America. But
yeah, but like the Dominican Republic and Cuba and Puerto Rico, like all, and Puerto Rico is technically an American territory, so that makes it interesting.
yeah, I feel like this is something we've talked about on a different podcast, and maybe we can talk about it again another time. But like, I also don't fall into the camp that like every time during the World Cup you see something like if our best athletes played soccer, we would dominate. It's like I just simply don't think that's true. But conversation for potentially another time.
Yeah, I agree.
So
But
what is your take on Noah Lyles? So we might have actually talked about this when like the comments like originally first came out as well. That he said like he gets annoyed when the NBA like after they win they call themselves world champions, and he's like, you just beat technically the league, like you just beat America in basketball, or that's more or less what like Noah Lyles' argument is.
Yeah, or like North America. Yeah,
he's like, now that he just won the Olympics, he's like, I'm a true world champion. How can you call yourself a world champion?
Here's my viewpoint on that. I get what he's saying because technically,
at face value, he's not wrong.
At face value, he's not wrong. But okay, so say you took the winner, of
top 10 basketball. Like if you did a Champions League of the top 10 basketball leagues in the world, the best team in the NBA is wiping the floor with
the worst team in the NBA is wiping the floor with the winner of all the other leagues. I think. I mean, what's the second best team? The Spanish league?
Yeah,
usually.
Probably.
I think it is.
I think like Real Madrid like is actually like a good Spanish basketball team.
And Barcelona used to be at one point, I think. I mean, just because didn't the Gasols play for that team?
I think so. It's just one of those things. Like, there's a reason why the people from that country come to the NBA to play.
Exactly. So it's like the best players from other countries come to the NBA to play. So if the best players from around the world are playing in the league that is the NBA, then you are a world champion, technically.
I would agree.
So I get what he's saying because, like, on a technicality, he is correct. It's only a competition of teams in North America, or really the U.S. and Canada, and there's only one team in Canada. So it's not really a world champion, but in reality, it is the world champion.
I think every single sport in America, with the exception of the MLS, can call the champion of their league a world champion.
Exactly. I agree. And then the only other one possibly would be hockey.
Yep.
But it's almost different. Like the best Canada obviously is considered the best hockey country, and the best players from Canada play in the NHL. So you have that. The only other league that is comparable to the NHL is the KHL in Russia. But they play, like, if you talk to hockey people, like, their sport is almost so different.
Yeah, because it's honestly like how you've gotten into soccer more, and like you've been to an MLS game, then you've watched EPO.
Yeah,
like it's almost a completely different game what they're playing.
It is. Now it's a different game because of the talent level.
Yeah.
With the KHL and the NHL, like, the rink is a different size.
Okay.
And like
bigger or smaller?
The KHL has a bigger rink, so they have the ice is wider. Like
so that's why some of these guys come over with all of these big expectations, but when you shrink the ice on them, they can't necessarily do all the things they could do in the KHL.
Exactly, because they have less room to move. And
God. Imagine McDavid in the KHL.
Exactly. He would have so much room. He would have, like, that's the thing. And so, like, guys from Russia come over here, and it's the KHL is a lot less physical.
Yep.
Because guys have a lot more space to get around people. And so then they come to the NHL, and it's like, well, yeah, you had all this speed and ability to move in the KHL, but then you get over here, and a guy will run you right into the boards because you don't have anywhere to go.
Yep.
And so it's like that's what I mean, where it's almost it's not a different sport, but it's just so much different on like strategy that it's crazy.
I will say though,
yeah.
I disagree with Devin Booker. If you saw, he responded back and said it's harder to win an NBA championship than a 100-meter dash gold medal. And I think that is horribly incorrect.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not
like
true.
Obviously it's not easy to do either.
Mm-mm.
But I think the USA had 3 guys competing just at the Olympics in general in the 100-meter dash.
Yeah.
Where the sample size of people to pull from in the NBA is just so much greater.
Yeah. I mean, both are incredibly hard. It's hard to win an NBA finals. It's hard to win a gold medal in the 100-meter dash. But just think of how few people have won a gold medal.
Yep.
Period. In anything. Like, much less the 100-meter dash. Like, I mean, it's like very difficult.
I mean, like, who's just... Let's see.
And think of how hard it is to train to get to the point to win the 100-meter. Like, you got to be the best, individually, the best at that particular run in the world.
Yeah. And then also, like, to win an NBA title, like, you could be the 12th guy on the bench.
Exactly.
And get an NBA title.
Exactly.
Freaking Devin Booker.
He's wrong on that one. Not to say it's not hard to win, because there's guys like Charles Barkley never won an NBA Finals, and Devin that guy
Booker hasn't won one, so I don't really understand why he's the one clapping back.
Exactly.
And but maybe that's what he's trying to say. Like, no, because I haven't won, it's harder.
It probably is what he's saying, but like, I mean, I don't know. I think that he's misguided with that comment.
Agreed.
But anyway, so all right, the next thing from the Olympics that I wanted to talk about: Scotty Scheffler won gold in golf. We talked,
sweetheart.
Yeah, we talked about Scotty on this podcast a lot, and the guy continues to just do everything right.
That dude is going to take a step back 20 years from now and look at his 2024 and be like, I was the number 1 golfer in the world. I won the Masters. I got arrested. I won gold medal at the Olympics.
Dude, and he won like 7 tournaments this year.
Just all the things he went through in 2024. Just the fact that this year he was arrested.
I know.
There's a mugshot of arguably the nicest professional athlete of all time that exists.
I know. And he's won 7 tournaments. Like, he's dominant.
Like it's always from coming behind.
I know. Always. It's crazy. And he's just so good. And he's
I said it, I don't remember if it was in our group message or if it was the golf Instagram group message that we all have, when I think it was Sam sent the picture and it was like all of them holding that sign. It was like Rory win the gold medal, Xander win the gold medal. It might have been John Rahm win the gold medal, and then Scotty Scheffler is just have fun. And I responded like, that dude's going to win gold. Like,
exactly.
Everyone else is screwed. He's just there to have fun. And when he's having fun, he's going to beat you.
Exactly. That's everyone's goal for the Olympics, and his is to have fun. Like, it's crazy. But if anything, that just shows how confident he is.
Yep.
Like, he's like, I'm not here to win gold. I'm here to have fun. And he goes out and does it.
I love it.
And shoots a 62 on the last day to win.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's another thing for me that I find what he does just so unbelievably impressive, because it could be like he'll be 6 strokes back on the last day. The guy in first will shoot 5 under, and he goes out and shoots like 11 under I don't even know if my math was right there, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not even like guys blow it. He just takes it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. He takes it from them.
Yeah.
Like, they have a good day. Like, Xander Schauffele, right, is who was leading going into the last day.
Yep.
How do you feel if you're that guy, too? Because Xander Schauffele has had a great year, has been in the lead, and he won. He won
the last.
He won the.
He's won 2 majors this year, right?
Yeah, so he's had a great year, but no one's talking about him because Scotty, like, takes everything from. Which, if he's won 2 majors, he hasn't won 2 majors. There's no way.
I thought he did.
Has he? Now we got to look that up. I know he's won 1 because I bet on him to win. But
and then didn't he win?
Oh yeah, he won the PGA and the Open.
Yeah.
So yeah, that guy's won 2 majors this year, and everyone's talking about how great of a year Scotty Scheffler's having. Yep. And it's like Xander. I mean, is having a great year. He's the number 2 golfer in the world.
And but did he get out of there with the silver medal too?
No, Tommy Fleetwood took it.
Did Xander get bronze? Xander won gold last Olympics, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
No, he did not. Who won?
So did Xander blow it?
I don't know. Who won men's golf medals? Hideki Matsuyama. That guy also sneaky wins bunch.
So on the last day, Xander just with a ho-hum 3 under.
Just a not so great 3 under.
Oh no, that was round 3. He was 14 under after round 3, and Scheffler went 9 under on the last round to get to 19 under.
Jesus.
So he was 4 back of the lead, which Fleetwood was 13 under. I don't know. Scotty just dominated.
Yep, that's what the moral of the story is. But in Tommy Fleetwood, I like that guy. I'm glad that he got silver.
I like him as well. He was like, I feel like last year, I don't even know if he was on the PGA Tour. Like, he was obviously, but I feel like he wasn't playing in tournaments. I feel like he was only doing like the British stuff.
Yeah, I think he does. He plays a lot of European Tour stuff.
I like him though. Good. Golf just has a lot of likable guys.
And golf is having success right now, which I'm happy about. Like, people are following golf right now. Yep. Because there's a lot of easy people to root for, and
exactly.
And we talk about that a lot. But,
yep.
But anyway.
All right. Last thing I want to get into from a sports perspective, just because it was a very hot topic of conversation when he did his commencement speech, and now I feel like people are bringing him up again because he just got the biggest contract for a kicker.
Yeah, Harrison Butker. So yeah, he got Harrison Butker just signed the largest contract in NFL history for a kicker. And are you shocked that the Chiefs, in the middle of this controversy, signed him to the biggest contract for a kicker ever?
So I will say that I am shocked just because the nature of like how
of what's like
just everything, like they didn't feel the pressure to not give him that contract. Like they were definitely feeling the pressure that, like, I mean, people wanted him to be cut. And then they turned around and gave him the biggest contract kickers ever got. And I actually respect the Chiefs for that because, like,
I agree.
You can disagree with what Harrison Butker said all you want, but it's not like he killed a guy. It's not like he actually did anything wrong. He just had opinions that people don't like. And the Chiefs put that to the side. It's like, we don't have to align with this guy morally, but I don't even know. You can probably say he is the best kicker in the NFL. I actually don't know if he is, but like,
but he's very consistent.
He makes the kicks you need him to make, and he is clutch.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think he's deserving of the contract from a performance standpoint. And I agree with you 100%. I think that the Chiefs did I think that from a football standpoint, they thought he deserves this. And while people are mad about what he said, it's not, he can say what he says and that's his viewpoint. And even if we don't agree with that, we are in the business of winning football games. So we're going to give him a contract because that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
And
it might have been on local radio that I heard them talking about, and I don't even remember which show it was on, but like Patrick Mahomes more or less said that in an interview. He was like, look, you don't have to agree with what all of your teammates like. There's other people in this locker room that I probably don't see eye to eye with on things. And I think it was someone talking about like they were saying if they were in the same locker room as Harrison Butker, they don't know if they would be able to like coexist with him. But it's like, hey, maybe you just don't talk about those things.
Like, when would that ever, just think about it, if you were on that sports team, like, when are you ever going to have a conversation about that? Like, you don't need to talk about it. And so, like, I don't have a problem with it. And, the impressive thing in this day and age when, sports agents are the biggest, like, this huge industry and like, or a big job and profession, and everyone has them, of course. He negotiated his own deal, doesn't even have an agent. And he went in there and got his own contract, which is even more impressive for him. So,
and then Morgan Wallen walked out in his jersey.
And that's fake news. So that's what I was going to say. So controversy or not is the question. So this is the most blown out of proportion / it kind of already gone away. But so if you saw the video, he always does his walkout at his concerts. Have you seen those before?
Yep.
Some people think those are corny. It is kind of corny, but it is kind of cool at the same time. So he walks out for all of his concerts, and at his second day of his concert, he walked out with Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Chris Jones.
Yep.
And he was wearing a number 7 Chiefs jersey, which is Harrison Butker's number. And so everyone was like, oh my gosh, he's wearing a Harrison Butker jersey. Like, he's making some type of stance, taking a stance on this, and like, blah, blah, blah. And then he turns around to walk up on the stage, and it has his name on the back, Morgan Wall. And so like everyone on social, like not everyone, but these uneducated people on social media are like, how could he do that? Like, I'm not a Morgan Wallen fan anymore. Like, I thought he would never do this, blah, blah, blah. He literally gets custom number 7 jerseys at like all the cities he goes to and then it gets his thing because he was number 7 on his high school baseball team.
And also, all at the same time, just because even if it did say Butker on the back, doesn't mean he is sending a message or putting up a stance. Like,
would be kind of a bananas PR move if he did that, but
I think his audience loves the fact that he likes to stir the pot. So I think
that's true.
Like it even more. But like, I'm sure when Michael Vick came back to the NFL and had an incredible season with the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm sure you saw a lot of people walking around with Michael Vick jerseys on. That doesn't necessarily mean they like watching dogs fight.
That's a good point. Because they were fans of the team. You got to
separate the athlete and the person. You can like them as an athlete. Doesn't mean you have to agree with everything that they stand for as a person.
Exactly. I agree. But anyone who still thinks that he was taking some type of stance and wearing that as a Harrison Butker jersey or something like that is an idiot, because that's just not true.
Yeah, like you said, I'm pretty sure I've definitely, one, because you brought it up and now I can like remember it. Like, anytime he does one of those walkouts at like a stadium like that and is wearing a jersey, it's always the number 7.
Exactly. So
it would almost have been more of a statement for him to like not do it in Kansas City.
It would be like, if people were really reading into it, they'd be like, "Oh, he didn't wear number 7 this time because it was Harrison Butker's number, and that means he doesn't support Harrison." Then you would have had that, and then you have a lose-lose, and it's like, what is going on? Like, it's crazy. But anyway,
just let the man do it.
Exactly.
And put on a hell of a show, like I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Got the people going.
Always.
So anyway, but there you go.
Well, Dave, we stepped into it tonight. Didn't know if we had an hour's worth of content in here, and we're about to lock it in pretty much right at an hour.
I know we really did it.
We brought it home. Good
stuff. 30 minutes of nonsense, 30 minutes of sports on the dot, pretty much.
Giving the people what they want.
Exactly. I'm proud of us.
Next week, we'll have our good pal Christopher back.
Exactly. But for episode number 46.
46. Let the record show.
Let it show.
But for tonight, as always, it's Nightly Nonsense.
See ya. I'm a bit of a butterfly.
A bit of sand.